ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री रामानंद परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री शिवानंद परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री शंकर भगवत्पादाचार्य नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री नित्यानंद परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम सद्गुरु श्री व्यासव्यास भट्टारकाय नमः। Atma Namaskars to one and all who have attended the conference. You are all my Guru Swarupa. Today's topic is Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. That is 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. That is the yoga of division between the distinction between the divine and demonic natures. Divine and demonic natures. Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. Though it is looking a small chapter and not that much importance when compared to previous chapters, this is also very important. Why? Because if you compare the qualities of divine nature told by Paramatma for our personality with our personality, we can rectify our defects. Where are the defects? So, we can in that way we can compare and tally our qualities with the divine qualities told by Paramatma. So in that way, this is very important chapter. And you can understand how the world is appearing to, how many people are demonic nature, how many people are with this divine nature. We can understand by tallying all these qualities. You can observe, by observing all these qualities, you can have an idea. So in this way, this is a practical chapter. That is called Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yogam. In this chapter, in continuation with the previous chapter, that is Purushottam Prapti Yogam, that is Supreme Purusha, knowing about the Supreme Purusha, that is told in 15th chapter. In this chapter, practically, where are we? Where are we? We should understand by hearing this chapter. In the previous chapters, in the 7th and 9th chapter, Paramatma used to tell something about these Daiva Asura Prakritis, that is divine nature and the demonic natures. Sampada means that is the nature, that is the potency of the individual, whether he belongs to divine or demonic. In the 7th chapter, Paramatma already addressed Namam Dushkutino Mudha Prapajante Naradama Maya Apahrata Jnanam Asuram Bhavamasritaha. These people who are born with the demonic nature, with the qualities of this demon Asura Bhavam, Namam Dushkutino Mudha, they can never understand me, and they will going on doing this bad karmas. Dushkutnumura prapanchante naradhama, they are called worst of the human beings. And Maya aparata jnanam, diluted by the illusion. The jnanam is taken away due to the influence of this illusion, Maya. Then they will be deluded. Asuram bhavamasrita, because they were born in the demonic field. So like that, they can never understand me. In that way, in the 7th chapter, Paramatma has already addressed. In the 9th chapter also, even in the 7th chapter also, Moghasa, Moghakarmana, Moghajnana Vichetasaha, Rakshasim Asurinchaiva, Prakritim Mohini Sritaha. In the 7th chapter, in the 9th chapter, Moghasa, Moghakarmana. When you are born in the with the nature of this divine demonic nature, whatever you do karma, they will be go in vain. They are of no use at all, because your mind will be always having tendency to enjoy with this world. So when you are trying to enjoy this world, naturally whatever you do karma, that will go in vain. That is going to be a waste. Moghasa, mogha karmano, moghajnana vichetasaha. Because your mind is also very limited and with innocence and ignorance. Vichetasaha, you cannot understand the Atman, Rakshasayam Asurinchaiva, Prakritim Mohini Srita, because you are under the influence of this Prakriti. You are with, you can never understand me like that. That is already told by Paramatma in the 7th and 9th chapters. In the 9th chapter about the divine nature, he has addressed, that is Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakritim Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Jnatva Bhotadim Avyayam. Those who are divine with divine nature, they are called Mahatmas. They are called Mahatmas. Mahatmanastu Mampardha Daivim Prakritimasritaha, who were born in the divine nature itself, they are called as Mahatmas. They are great souls. Daivim Prakritimas Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Jnatva Bhotadim Avyayam. They will be always worshipping me, that I am not at a particular spot or place, but I am the origin of all these beings. That is, I am the source of all these creation. Bhota Adim Avyayam. I am imperishable, thinking that I am everlasting, eternal, and with that view, they will be going on worshipping me in every shape. They will be going on worshipping in every shape, not at a particular shape, but they will be seeing in a broad sense. I am all-pervasive. I am omnipotent, omniscient, and omniscient. So, like that, they will be worshipping me, thinking that I am imperishable. So, they are called Mahatmanastu Mampardha Daivim Prakriti. Like that, in the 7th and 9th chapters, Paramatma already addressed about these divine and mnemonic people. Now, in detail, Paramatma is addressing Abhayam Sattva Samsiddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danascha Dhamascha Yajnascha Swajjaya Tapa Ajjavam. These are the qualities. The first Paramatma is addressing the divine qualities of the divine Sampada, the divine nature. There are about 26 qualities. If you compare these qualities, 26 qualities, you can understand that I am born in this divine, born with divine nature. So, first Paramatma is addressing Abhayam Sattva Samsiddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavastati. So, you please hear carefully, each word has got so much meaning. So, for every word, there are so many meanings. There will be superficial meaning and deep meaning. There will be common meaning and there will be special meaning. There will be theoretical meaning, there will be practical meaning. That is like that Vachardham, Lakshardham. So, for every word, ordinarily we will take this in a superficial way. But if you go into the depth of it, Paramatma is now demarcating between the yogis and non-yogis. That is very important in this chapter. All these people who are born in with this divine nature, they will be resorting to yogam. Like that, those who are doing yogam, they will be turned into divine nature. So, mutually. So, born in divine nature also with divine qualities. Even in this path also, they can adopt. They can adopt the divine quality. Then they will become this divine Purusha. So, that way, now Paramatma is demarcating between the yogi and non-yogis. Those who are doing yogam, they will be called as divine Purushas. Divine Purushas. Because they were already did something yogam in the previous births, they will be born with these qualities. With these qualities, if some qualities are lacking, they will be rectified. They will be rectified by doing more yogam in this birth. In this birth. Now, you can understand these 26 qualities, Paramatma is telling about the yogis. Yogis, Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi. Abhayam means fearlessness. Fearlessness, how can you be fearless? It is not so easy, but there is something behind it. That is, in Gaudapada Karika, when Gaudapada Maharshi was describing about this Mandukya Upanishad, they used to say, that is, Omkaram Pranavam Jnatva Pranavo Brahmanirbhayam Pranave Nityayuktasya Nabhayam Vijjate Kvachit. He clearly mentions that one who does this pranayama only, Omkaram Pranavam Jnatva, Omkaram and Pranav meaning the same, Pranavo Brahmanirbhayam. That Pranavam will lead you to Brahman, then you will become fearless. Pranave Nityayuktasya. When you are doing this pranayam regularly, Nityayuktasya Nabhayam Vijjate Kvachit. You will never be fearful. That is underlining. So, for every word in Bhagavad Gita, there is a deep meaning in Upanishads. For every word carries one slokam in Upanishads. In Sandilya Upanishads also, Marute Majjasanchare, Manasthairiam Prajayate, Yomanas Susthire Bhavo, Saivavastha Manonmani. When your life force going centrally upwards, hitherto our life force will be going on sideways, either in the right Pingala Nadi or in the left Ida Nadi. But when you do pranayama and then we are combining these together, it will go centrally upwards. Marute Majjasanchare. When your life force is going centrally, going upwards, Manasthairiam Prajayate. You will have that sthairiam. You will have this braveness. You will never be fearful. So, as long as you are within this Dvaitam, that is, when you are seeing, coming into the nature, you will be always in Dvaitam only. That's why in another Upanishad it says, Dvaita Advaitam Abhayam Bhavati. Dvaita Advai Bhayam Bhavati. Dvaita Advaitam Abhayam Bhavati. When you are in Dvaita, naturally you will be fearful. Dvaita Advai Bhayam Bhavati. Dvaita Advaita Abhayam Bhavati. When you are coming from the, Dvaita to and going upwards, you will reach the Advaita state, Abhayam Bhavati. So, that great meaning, Abhayam. Sattva Samsuddhi. Sattva Samsuddhi means purification of mind by having Sattvam. Sattvam, how? Tapasa Prapite Sattvam. Tapasa Prapite, by doing tapasa. Tapa means tapite iti tapa, already explained. That is, by getting Yogagni, you will get Sattvam. With that Sattvam only, your mind will get purified. Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi. Purification of mind is also is told in 5th chapter, that is Yogikto Visuddhatma. By means of yogam only, your mind will be purified and you will get Sattvam. So, Abhayam Sattva. Every word carries relating to yogam only. Abhayam Sattva Suddhi Jnana Yogi Vavastha. Now, openly Paramatma is telling, Jnana Yogi Vavastatihi, with steadfastness in yogam and jnanam. One should have jnanam and yogam. Both are necessary. How in Upanishads it says, Yoga Sanjayate Jnanam, Jnanat Yoga Pravartate, Jnana Yoga Parunicham, Sayogi na Pranasati. In Trisika Brahmana Upanishad, Parama, in Upanishad it says, one who has got this yogam and jnanam, they will never be perished. Sayogi na Pranasati. In the Yoga Sikhopanishad also, it says, Tasma Jnanancha Yogancha Mumuksha Dradhamabhyasayat. So, one should have both Jnanam, that is theoretical Jnanam, and Yogam, with this practical pranayama, Mumuksha Dradhamabhyasayat. The one who seeks this salvation, he has to practice this very stubbornly, with firm decision and with firm effort. He has to catch hold of both Jnanam and yogam. So, with these meanings, Paramatma is telling Jnana Yogi Vyavastitihi. So, with steadfast effort, by both in having yogam and jnanam. First, you combine theoretical jnanam and practical yogam. If you do yogam, again you will get practical knowledge. Yoga sanjayate jnanam. Yoga sanjayate jnanam. Jnanat yoga pravartate. If you have sufficient atma jnanam, that will also provoke you to do yogam. Jnanat yoga pravartate. Yoga jnana paronityam sayogi nanaparanasati. So a person is having both jnanam and yogam, he will never be perished. So with that meaning Paramatma is addressing. That means abhayam sattva samsiddhi jnana yoga vyavastitihi danam damascha yajnascha swadhyaya tapa arjanam. You please hear carefully the 26 qualities of a divine nature. That is danam. Danam means charity, offering alms and other things, offering food, water, gold and all these things. Not only gold, land, cows, whatever you have, all these annadanam, all these come under this danam. But out of all these danams, there is one great danam that is there in the Upanishad. Sarvesham api dananam brahmadanam vishishyate. Vari, Anno, Go, Mahivasha, Tilakanchana Sarpisha. There is a great. Here, the Dharma Soshmi is that no doubt you have to do all these danas. These are charities are very important. But underlying these danas, if you do sadhana and do all these things, you will be helping the Brahmadanam also. You will be helping the Brahmadanam also. You can, a person who is capable of imparting his practical knowledge to other people, that is great Brahmadanam. And the other persons who are supporting this Brahma Vidya, they are also come under this Brahmadanam. Sarvesham api dananam Brahmadanam vishishyate. Out of all these danas, Brahmadanam is the greatest and the supreme. Vari, that means water. Anno, annadanam, food. Anno, Vari Anno, Go Mahivasha, that means Godanam, Kaudanam, and Mahi, land offering, land charity, Vasa, houses, Vari Anno, Go Mahivasa, Tilakanchana Sarpisha, even the Jinjali, there will be Tiladanam, and Kanchana, Golddanam, Suvarnadanam, and Sarpisha, Ghee Danam, that is offering ghee. So all these will come under so many danas, but out of all these things, Brahmadanam is very much superior. It is supreme. But all these people may not be capable of doing Brahmadanam. But at least you should help the persons who are doing this Brahmadanam. That fruit will also will come to you. That is the thing. So whatever you do, yadeva vijaya karoti shraddhaya upanishadam tadeva viryavatram bhavati. In Chandogya Upanishad it says, whatever you do outside charity, do with purity of mind, pious mind. How you should purify by my mind by your doing sadhana inside. So do sadhana and do charity outside. So that is the combination of meaning of this danam. Danam damascha. Damascha means external, control of the external senses. The external senses, that is jnanendriyas, just controlling. How can you control? This is also very important. How can you control? If you go upwards only you can control. If you come downwards, then you will be naturally succumbed for all these sensory pleasures. So here also damas means damam samam. Both can be controlled by going upwards. By doing yoga sadhana, that is danam damascha yajnascha. Yajnas also sacrifice. Here the people who are doing this yajnam, sacrifice, they will also come under this this nature, that is called divine nature. But among these sacrifices, there are so many swadhyayam, yogasthana, draviyajjas, tapoyajja, yogajjas, tadapare, jnana yajnancha. Like that, in the 4th chapter, Paramatma has addressed so many yajnas, that is about 14 yajnas he has mentioned. Out of all these yajna sacrifices, Sriyat Drayamayad Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karmakhilam Pada Jnane Parisamapyate. Out of all these sacrifices, the Jnana Yajna is the supreme. Sriyat Jnanamaya Drayamayad Yajnas. All these material sacrifices, among all these material sacrifices, Jnana Yajna Parantapa, Jnana Yajna is the supreme. Jnana yajna param sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamaprite. In the fourth chapter also, out of all these fruits of the karmas, they will be culminated in the jnana yajna. They will be culminated in the jnana yajna. So here also Paramatma is specially mentioning about this. Dhanam damas yajnasya swadhyayam. Swadhyayam means there are two meanings. Swadhyayam, by studying, reading the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, the Prasthanatraya Granthas, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutras, Bharata, Bhagavata, Ramayanas, Yoga Vasishtha, like that, reading all these books. But mind you, by simply reading all these books, but you cannot understand. You go to a guru, go to a learned person, then know the meanings of all these things. To know, understand this, you have to do yoga. Again, Swadhyayam will come under this. Unless you practice this pranayama, you cannot go to the depth of these scriptures. But simultaneously, you should read. At least if you cannot read these books, you hear the words of the gurus and the great sajjanas. So, Swadhyayam. There is another meaning of Swadhyayam. Swa-adhyayam. That means you study yourself. So, you study yourself. That means you introspect. You study yourself. So, that is also, that will also come under Swadhyayam. Tapaha. Tapaha means austerity. Here, tapaha, the great tapas is pranayam only. But in those previous days, in the Treta Yugam and Dwapara Yugam, there used to be this yajna, dana, tapaha. Yajnam and danam and tapaha. In this way, Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita so many times uttered these three words: yajna, dana, tapa, karma, yajchajam, karyameva tattva. Yajno, dana, tapaschaiva, pavanani manishnam. Pavanani manishnam. Who is manishi? Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam chakva manishan. That means who does this yogam, buddhi yogi, then he can, for him only they will become pious. So here also comes under Swadhyayam tapaha. Previously, in the actually these tapaha and yajnas, they were not much there in the Kruta Yogam. They were introduced mostly in the Treta Yogam. In those Treta Yugam, there used to be sacrificing the cows and horses. In Ashwamedha Yugam, they used to sacrifice the horse, and in the other yajnas, they used to sacrifice. They used to put the cow by closing all the Navrandras. By closing all these Navrandras, they used to put into the Yajnagundam, and with the after that, they used to eat that flesh. There used to be very cruel things that in the name of Yajnam. But when Lord Rama, when Paramatma was incarnated as Lord Rama, he stopped doing all these violent yajnas. After Rama's avataram, there was not any offering with the cows or horses. But mind you, there is another deeper meaning in it. The controlling and closing all the Navrandras, and they used to offer that animal into the Yajnagundam, not that our Navrandras, one who closes these Navrandras by going upwards. When you take it upwards, by increasing the inspirated faith, all these Navrandras will be closed. Because when you are doing this, you will get naturally this knowledge. That knowledge is called yajnam. This is jnana yajnam. So this will come under Swadhyayam tapa arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness. Straightforwardness means when he doesn't have any crookedness or any hypocritic ideas, naturally he will, whatever he talks, he will talk with mind, thought and action. Trikana Suddhi, with this combining these three words, these he will behave always with the straightforwardness. Arjavam, Rujutvam, like that, these are the qualities that is told in the first slokam. Now coming to the Ahimsa, Satcham, Akrodho, Chagas, Shanti, Rapaisanam, Dhaya, Bhuteshu, Lolatva, Alolatvam, Madhavam, Sri, Hiri, Achapalam. These are all the qualities of the divine nature. Ahimsa means non-violence, non-injury. Who can do ahimsa? This is also very confusing word. Even the vegetarians also will do himsa, because when we are doing so many actions outside, so many creatures, even creatures, so many creatures, they will be killed under your feet. When you are doing so many things, Khandani, Peshani, Chulli, Chodakumbhisha Marjani, Panchasona, Grahastasya, Panchajnat Pranasyati. When you are in your routine household life also, you are going to do so many violent things, that is himsa. But what is meant by ahimsa? Atma, Sarvagato, Achejya, Agrahya, Itiyamati, Sacha, Ahimsa Vara Prokta, Iti Vedanta Vedibhi. The great people who have achieved the salvation, they have uttered that one who knows and attains the Advaita state, he will come to understanding that Atma is everywhere. Atma Sarvagata, Achejyo, that can never be divisible, that can never be cut into pieces. Agrahya, that means he cannot be easily understood. Itiyamati, one who has got that type of understanding. Sacha Ahimsa Vara Prokta, he is called Ahimsa Vara. So he is the supreme of all these people of non-violence. So when you go to the absolute meaning, there is practical meaning. But usually you have to observe the non-violence by not harming any creature, any being. That is external meaning, that is ahimsa. Satcham. Ahimsa, satcham occurs. Satcham means, here also, there are two meanings. Satcham means there is worldly meaning, there is another spiritual meaning. Satcham means truthfulness. Truthfulness, how whatever you feel, whatever you say, that it is truth, you have to tell the truth only. Truth only. But regarding expressing this truth also, there are some restrictions. There are some restrictions. How? Satcham Bruyat. You have to tell truth only. That too, it should be pleasant to others. Priyam Bruyat. Nanutanja Priyam Bruyat. That means, when you feel that it is truth, but if it is unpleasant to the persons in front of you, you should never reveal it. Satcham Bruyat, you tell truth only. Priyam Bruyat, that should be pleasant only. Nanutancha Priyam Bruyat, that means that if it is unpleasant, don't tell it. Suppose one person, there is one story in the Upanishads also. There is one story in the Upanishads also. One person is chased by the thieves. One person is chased by the thieves. That person ran into Muni's ashram. He ran into Muni's ashram. He told that some people, they are chasing me to kill me like that. Then the Rishi, no, you be under my cart. You be under my cart, I will safeguard you. Then after some time, the thieves came and asked the Rishi, is there any person came in this way? No, I didn't say. I didn't see. In that way, he has saved him. Otherwise, they will kill him. So it is fact that that person has come here, but he never say. So like that, Nanutancha Priyam Bruyat. Nanutancha Priyam. Satyam Bruyat Priyam. Nabruyat Satyam Apriyam. Nanutancha Priyam Bruyat. That means, even if to please others, don't tell the untruth. To please the people, don't tell the untruth. If you want to tell truth only, but it should be pleasant only. Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Nabruyat Satyam Apriyam. Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. This is the Sanatana Dharma. So, like that, there are so many principal norms you have to observe. And there is another Satyam. Satyam Jnanamiti Srute Brahmaiva Satya Sabdadha Satyam Jnanamiti Srute. There is another Upanishad meaning. Brahmayava Satya. That means Satya means Brahma itself. Satyam Brahmaiva Satya Sabdadha. The meaning of Satya means Brahmayava. Satyam Jnanamiti Srute. What is meant by Satyam Jnanam? So Satyam Brahma Jnanam all are one and the same. That's why in Adi Shankaracharya in Viveka Chodamani, he says, వ్రతాని దానాని తపంసి యజ్ఞ సత్యంచ తీర్థాశ్రమ కర్మయోగాః స్వర్గార్థమేవ అశుభం అధ్రువంచ జ్ఞానం ధ్రువం శాంతికరం మహార్థం. Adi Shankaracharya says, even if you tell truth, only truth, that is only up to go to heaven only. Satyancha Tirthasram Karma Yoga, whatever you think you do all these karmas, Swargarthameva, you will go to heaven only. Jnanam Dhruvam Shantikaram Mahartham. But by getting the spiritual knowledge only, you will go to that state. So, that Satyam is different from this Satyam. But ordinarily you have to tell this truth also. So, there are relative meanings. External worldly meaning, there is another practical deeper meaning also. Like that ahimsa, satyam, akrodham. That means be away from the anger. Regarding this anger, there are so many things. This anger, this means kamayesha, krodhayesha, rajoguna samudbhavam, mahasano. That will come. We will come. This anger is the main seed of this rajogunam. That rajogun will be pacified only by doing yoga sadhana. Prasanta manasamhyanam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantaresam brahmabhutam akarmash. Like that in the 6th chapter, if you want to pacify this anger, you have to do yoga. So ahimsa, satyam, akrodho, chagasyanti rapaisanam. Tyaga means renunciation, sacrificing. How can you do renunciation? How can you sacrifice unless you enjoy something inside? Unless you enjoy something inside, you cannot sacrifice. Say there is some people approached some gurus, some jnanis. No, Swami, you have renounced everything. You have renounced everything. Then that guru told, no, I have not at all renounced. I have renounced only small, worldly possessions. But I am very greedy enough to have the kingdom of God. I am very greedy enough to have the kingdom of God. So, renunciation means, tyaga means, by having experience, by having enjoying, rejoicing the eternal bliss, naturally you will definitely renounce all these things. Brahmanande nimagrasya vishyasa natva bhavet visham dritva amrutam dashva visham chachiti buddhaman atmanapi dushtaham anatmanam tyajamyaham. In Amruta Buddha Upanishad it says, visham drishtva amrutam dashva. By seeing the poison and seeing the nectar and the ambrosia, naturally his mind will be diverted toward this amrutam only. Atmanapi drushtaham, by enjoying the Atman state,